And then we're going to add in a ton of veggies because we want to lower the calorie density of this. So we're going to add in an entire head of cauliflower, a bunch of chopped sweet potato. We have some brown lentils and red lentils that I rinsed. And then we're just going to add in a can of low-fat coconut milk, a little bit of water, and some curry powder. And you just want to stir that up real nice and then put the lid on. And we're going to cook this in our Instant Pot for, I think it was 20 minutes. So once this is done, what I like to do is add in some spinach because it's so hot. You can put it in there and it will just wilt it without having to cook it. And then you can eat this over some baked potatoes or sweet potatoes or just over rice like this. I really like it with rice because the rice soaks up the flavors and it's really delicious. All right, this next recipe is one of my favorite salads. It is a Thai crunch salad, and salads are always great for having either with your meals or just as a main meal because obviously vegetables are the lowest calorie dense food out there. So what I like to do is just put a bunch of greens into a bowl and then I take my kitchen shears and chop it up. It just helps. It's just easier to eat that way. We're gonna add a tablespoon of peanut butter into here, some soy sauce, garlic powder, ginger powder. I like to add cayenne to make it a little bit spicy, and then we're just gonna stir all that up. Instead of using peanut butter too, you could also use powdered peanut butter. And then we're just gonna dump that over the greens and mix it in really well. This is kind of a trick of the trade. You wanna like mix the dressing into the greens before you put all the other stuff on top. And then we're just gonna add even more veggies to this. So some cucumber, carrots, some edamame, cilantro, chopped green onion, and then you can add a little bit of salted peanuts if you want as well. So this next recipe is a little bit higher in fat, but it's very low in calorie density because there are so many vegetables in this recipe. So we're gonna make some tofu lettuce wraps. It's super simple to make actually. We're just gonna take some hoisin sauce. I think I used the Annie's organic brand hoisin sauce, but just use whichever one you can find. Just make sure it's vegan. And then we got some rice vinegar. We're also going to add in some soy sauce. So this recipe does have sesame oil in it, but if you're trying to lose weight, you can just leave it out. It just gives it a nice flavor. This is the only oil I ever use, and I only ever use a teaspoon just for flavor. And then we just added a little bit of red chili flakes and some sesame seeds in here. And then we're just gonna stir all of that together. Then we're just gonna start by sauteing a little bit of garlic and some water. And then we're gonna add in a ton of veggies. So we got mushrooms, zucchini, carrots, water chestnuts. And then we're gonna add in an entire block of pressed and cubed tofu. You can add in even more veggies than this if you want. I love to add in tons of veggies. You could half the amount of tofu if you want to just use half a block of tofu. And then we're just gonna grate in some fresh ginger. It gives it a nice little kick. And once that's done, I just like to eat this in little lettuce cups. You could put this on a salad with like tons of greens. You could eat with rice. Like there's so many different ways to eat this. So this is one of my favorite recipes. You guys know this. I make this all the time. So we're just going to chop up some pre-steamed potatoes. What I do is I pre-steam my potatoes in my Instant Pot for 10 minutes in a steamer tray. And then I just put them in the fridge, and whenever I want potatoes, this is like the best way to get crispy potatoes. You just throw them in your air fryer with a little bit of seasoning on it and cook it for about 15 minutes on the highest setting, and they get super crispy. And then we're gonna make this salad, so you just wanna add in a ton of spring greens. I usually add in a quarter to a half an avocado. I'll use a quarter of an avocado if I have had more fat that day, but if I haven't really had a lot of fat, then I'll use half an avocado. We're adding a tiny bit of lemon juice, coconut aminos, and garlic powder, and just massage all that together. This like makes the leaves coated completely with this avocado mixture, and it's so delicious if you've ever tried it. I always like to add more veggies to this, so I had some cucumber that my neighbor gave me, so I chopped up an entire cucumber, threw that on top, and then I have my roasted potatoes, and this is just my go-to dinner for real. So my famous wild rice soup, you guys love this recipe so much, but I wanted to show you a low-fat way of making it. So we have all the normal ingredients: onion, garlic, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and Italian seasoning for the flavor. And then I just used this wild rice blend, and we're just gonna need a little bit of water. So all we're gonna do is throw all of that into our Instant Pot and cook it for 20 minutes. And then once that's done, instead of using that cream base that we make in the original recipe, we're just gonna add a cup of soy milk, a bag of kale, and to season this, we just have a little bit of nutritional yeast, some tamari. So a lot of people ask me, they don't have miso, what can they use instead? I just recommend using tamari because it has that umami flavor. And then all we're gonna do is just mix that together. It's not as like amazing as the original version, but it is still really, really good for a wild rice soup. It's creamy, it's delicious, it's So this isn't really a recipe, but it's just an idea I've been obsessed with lately. Making these baked chips. They kind of taste like Chipotle chips, so you just want to take some corn tortillas and cut them into little triangles. And what I like to do is I put a little bit of squeezed lime on top, and then I add some salt. So it just makes the chips have a little bit of flavor. And I bake these in my air fryer for 15 minutes on 360 degrees, and they get super crispy and they're so good. I ate these like, oh my god, every day for lunch and dinner for like a week.
Hey guys, I hope you're all really well. So today I'm going to be showing you some of my favourite meals to cook when I'm at uni. I haven't done a food related video in like forever. I think I've only ever done like random baking videos ages ago. So you guys have always been asking me to do like a what I eat in a week, but I thought this would be more useful just to show you some like easy, simple recipes. So yeah, I'm going to get started and just chat you through my favourite meals and like what you need, how I do it, and everything like that. So I hope you guys find it useful, and if you're not at uni then it could just be some inspiration for cooking dinner or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna get started and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So one of my first favourite meals is a chicken Thai green curry. I have been trying to get this right for so long. I've always used the little jars that you can get of the paste, but it just never tasted quite right. Now I found like the perfect way for me to do my Thai green curry. So what you'll need for this recipe is some baby corn, some Blue Dragon Thai green curry paste, coconut milk, 2 chicken breasts or however much chicken you want, 2 onions, and then I like to have some poppadoms and rice with it. So the thing that really made it for me with this recipe is to put it all into one pot and just have it on like a 200 and just cook it for like an hour. So I like to just chop up everything basically and just chuck it in a casserole dish and pop it in the oven for like an hour. I do fry up the onions a little bit first, just in the bottom of the pan, and that is literally it. Just put it in the oven for like an hour, and then cook some rice before you're about to eat it, and it's really, really yummy. And that lasts me about 4 meals, 4 or 5 if I like stretch it even further. But yeah, I don't have the biggest portions, so like if you're a guy and you have bigger portions, it probably only do like 2 or 3. But yeah, I don't have very big portion sizes. Curries are also great because you can have them with so many different things. Like I have them with chips some night, which is really not very good. Or like, what else do I have it with? Like naan bread, so you could just buy a pack of naan breads. Or you could just have it on its own with some poppadoms or with some rice. So like it's a really versatile dish that's just super easy and it keeps really well. You can also freeze it and then just have it like later on in that month or something. So yeah, that's a really good recipe for just not much effort. So my next easy meal is a carbonara. I went through a week of eating this like constantly because it was just so yummy. I'm a sucker for like creamy pasta sauces, but this one you don't need any cream, which is great because like the reality of you being at uni and using cream more than once for a meal is not very high. So this is much easier. You just need eggs for the creaminess. So you will need some spring greens. I like these for like just having on the side. Some bacon. You can get the little like pre-chopped ones, but they're way more expensive. And I think it tastes nicer if you just chop up the bacon yourself. Then I chop up some onion and a garlic. You'll need some cheese to grate, and 1 egg. And then I love tagliatelle, so that's the pasta of choice that I go for. So to cook, this can get a bit messy, so I would prepare everything first. So I like to chop up the garlic and onion and the bacon and just have it all ready, and that all gets fried up separately. So I do like the onion and the garlic first, and then once that's browned off I will put the bacon with it, or I will just take the onions off and put the bacon on so I don't have to use another pan. And then whilst that's cooking I will boil up the tagliatelle and just cook that through, then drain it off. And then to create the creamy sauce, I'm pretty sure this is a Jamie Oliver recipe, but I saw Amber do it once and like it's just stuck in my brain ever since. So basically all you need to do is just whisk an egg up in like a little bowl and then add the cheese into it. You're meant to use parmesan, but I just use cheddar because I don't have parmesan. I really want to get some parmesan actually. And yeah, just whisk that all together, and then I just pop it into my pasta, take it off the heat, and just let the heat of the pasta just mix it in, and that will cook the egg. You have to be really careful with this bit because you can just get scrambled egg, which is not what you want. So when it looks like it's slightly cooked through and is a bit creamy, then that's done. And then you just add the bacon, garlic and onion into the sauce and it's done. And then obviously boil up the spring greens just to have on the side, and it's a really, really yummy meal. Often I add like a little bit of black pepper just on top of the pasta and it's so yummy. This next meal is definitely one that is more of a comfort food for me. Quite often I will, if I'm like feeling homesick or if I'm just feeling like a bit down, I will have this meal. So the things you will need for this meal are some potatoes, corn chicken nuggets. I am not vegetarian, but I really love these chicken nuggets. Like, they're just so yummy. Some whole grain mustard. This is optional, but it makes the mash taste really yummy. Some broccoli, some skim milk, and some butter, and that is what you need for this one. Okay, so the first thing I do is put the corn nuggets into the oven. They take about 15 minutes, and then I will boil up some water and put in the potatoes with the skin on still. Mashed potato with the skin on tastes fine, and the skin is really good for you, so yeah. So then once the potatoes are boiled, I will strain them off, put them back in the pan and add a little bit of butter and milk, and then also a tiny bit of whole grain mustard seeds. These I put way too much in this time, which was really annoying, but you don't need much really, and it just creates a like really nice sort of slight crunch every now and then, or like a, I don't know, it's just really satisfying to eat. So yeah, it was my sister's idea. And my mum told me about it, so I've tried it out and it's really yummy. And then I'll just boil up some broccoli to go with it, and that will be the meal done. It's just a really nice comfort meal, and you can't really go wrong with chicken nuggets and mashed potato and broccoli.